So, guess what I played this weekend? No, I mean, it's nothing good that came out recently, none of the new video games that I should be paying attention to. But, I guess this time around, my wife and I went to the video store and she decided to pick up something that she's played in her past and wanted to try out for the both of us, you know, give us a little bonding experience. And, that game is Resident Evil 5. This is gonna be a long one, folks, so if you're gonna be hanging by, I'm gonna warn you now. Foul language, spoilers, you don't like that, get the hell out. Okay, we're good? If you're still watching, fantastic. Okay, Resident Evil 5. For those of you who don't know Resident Evil at all, well, they're about to release, or no, they should have released their 5th movie by now. The 5th live-action movie, a series probably so bad it should have been directed by Uwe Boll. But, no, it's still producing more pieces of shit, so if you don't know Resident Evil, please just go to Wikipedia. Resident Evil, based on the Biohazard series that started off with Biohazard in 1996, is sort of bloated itself into this, like, horrid, misshapen creature infected by its own T-virus, or Las Plagas, or Ouroboros. You get what I mean, okay? Resident Evil has been milked for all it's nearly worth. It's been one of the title cornerstones of Capcom. When you think of Capcom, you think of either Street Fighter or Resident Evil. And one of Capcom's most famous games, and Resident Evil's most popular game in my opinion, would have to be Resident Evil 4. And yes, it was that awesome. Resident Evil 4 played up its own atmosphere and brought it, you know, the Resident Evil series into its own distinct game. When you think about Resident Evil 4, if you've played it, then you know all of the things that make you remember it. You know, it definitely has its own charm to it, like every Resident Evil game should. That's why you hear most about the first game because of the very weird full motion video opening and clips, and it's kind of quirky comedy, and then you know Resident Evil 4 for starring fucking Leon S. Kennedy in full rendered 3D, you know, just sort of bearing down this barren landscape in Spain and trekking castles and shit. It was horror. It really went down like how horror should. You went through this very, very creepy M. Night Shyamalan The Village-esque village, and you saw some really morbid shit, like a guy piked and burned in the middle of this forest village. It was so cool, though. Okay, so I'm not going to explain much of Resident Evil 4. I would suggest that you go play that, or at least look up the Wikipedia, or even watch, like, the playthrough on YouTube. Please, do that at least. So, you get what I'm saying here. Resident Evil 4, the predecessor to Resident Evil 5, got so much more praise. So what did they do? They tried to do it again. That's what Resident Evil 5 is. They tried to do the same shit again. Except with Chris Redfield. This fucker from the first game that we've barely gotten most attention on. I mean, not from my point of view, because in 1996, I was 5. So I don't give a fuck about Chris Redfield. That might be my closed-mindedness. That should be something I could go over and play again. But trust me, I've seen Resident Evil. It's not my time. You know, just no hate. Resident Evil has its own charm. I don't hate it, and it's not like I'm bagging on the first Resident Evil game. It's Resident Evil. But no, Resident Evil 5 though, we bring back a point of view back to Chris Redfield because he's been gone for the past decade, and you know, we might as well just throw him into a new game. So we do. Basically, we throw Chris Redfield, who is now wearing the, how do I say it? Oh, Gears of War kind of Space Marine muscle tube. He could basically, basically crush bricks in his armpit, just... There's working out, dude, and then there's just fucking hulking out. Like, did this guy, like, stop by Jersey Shore or something? So we have Chris Redfield. He was featured in the first game. He's the love interest for Jill Valentine. That's pretty much all you need to know. He's been working out for the past 5 years, and trust me, they'll keep showing you that he has a bit of a background with the characters of the first Resident Evil game. Because, flashback, is definitely what Capcom loves to do, especially when it comes to Resident Evil 5. So we have here Chris Redfield. He's going to Africa because, as a special unit, he's there to help out a BOW, bioorganism weapon deal that's going down, and it might be related to his kind of field in the past of taking down zombies against Umbrella Inc. and so they call him in there. They call He-Man in. He gets teamed up with Sheva, and Sheva, the creator's excuse to just sort of give him a new partner that kind of twinges on the whole, well, she's darker skinned, but, she's still, like, she's still in line. She still has, like, a dialect. She's very, very safe. So, Sheva is pretty much, your partner. She's pretty much boring. Nothing really much to say there. They end up going to Africa, and the first place that you open up to is this very, not distinct, I want to say shitty slums. Now, I know that's very redundant to say because all slums are shitty, but seriously, you open up the game, brown, the fucking brown tint everywhere. Like, it's dusty, it's crappy, and it's not even in the good sense. It's in the sense of, where have I seen this before, other than, every fucking military movie out there that just sort of tones out the whole thing in a certain color, like brown or gray. There's only one piece of color in this game, and that is Sheva's purple shirt. Now, I don't know what that's supposed to mean, but I don't think Sheva's little purple tank top, I don't think that's going to be any significant to the game. And by the way, I can understand, being out there in the field and having to wear to accommodate, having to adapt. But, I don't know, Sheva's purple tank top, tight-ass pants and high heels, I'm not getting that adaptation kind of thing. I know there's, women empowerment, you do what makes you feel good, okay? But, it doesn't really help that, Sheva, she's wearing less than Jill did in the first game. I mean, I know Jill Valentine had those dorky-ass fucking pauldrons on, and, she kind of looked like a nerd for that, I'm not gonna lie, even though she had a different model in-game. But, I don't know. I'm just not feeling up to, you got He-Man over here, and you've got Sheva going on. So, whatever, I ended up covering up that bitch with body armor and a bulletproof vest, so nothing was coming out anywhere. I was just like, let's lose that fucking purple. We'll put a vest on you, put some armor on you. Well, that's what I was doing. It was already setting up this whole image that, we have He-Man Chris Redfield, so he can take a lot of damage. So as the woman, I need to get as much armor as I possibly can. So I better do that because I can't, I'm dainty. I will let you know. I played Sheva this time. I didn't feel like playing the Macho Man Chris Redfield.